My beloved child, you were not supposed to find this now, but heaven had a different plan tonight. There's something you need to know, and once you hear it, you will never see her the same again. This message is not about strangers, dreams or distant signs. This is about your sister, the very one you believe you know, yet her hidden choices are now being revealed. God is allowing this truth to rise, not to harm her, but to protect your heart. And before I say anything more, I ask you, do not scroll away, do not dismiss this. Heaven is watching your response. Even now her name echoes in the spirit, as though the truth has been waiting patiently, for this exact moment to reach you. Archangel Michael has been trying to deliver this for 3 days. A special message was sent from God: tell my child now, or the pain will be heavier if they wait. Let them see before it's too late. Beloved, have you felt it, that quiet shift between you and her? That strange heaviness when she smiles, and yet something feels like a wall between you. That fleeting thought that she's hiding something. Heaven says your spirit has been sensing the truth all along, but the divine timing had to align with this very night. If your chest tightens, or you feel a chill, it isn't random, it's confirmation. This message was meant for you. If your heart knows this found you for a reason, pause for a breath, let heaven in, because the next words are your preparation. Archangel Michael says, if they turn away now, in 7 days they will wish they hadn't. But if they listen, the pain will turn into protection, and the tears will lead to victory. Listen closely now, your sister is not a bad soul, but she has stepped into something God cannot bless. God offered her chance after chance, gentle warnings, and quiet dreams. But she didn't change. And because what she's done will ripple into your life, heaven chose to reveal it to you first. You may see her as gentle, soft-spoken, or harmless, but there is a shadow side she hides, even from herself. What began as a single secret, grew into a habit, and now it's a repeating pattern. Heaven whispers, she made a choice 6 months ago, and it's been unfolding in silence ever since. The angels have seen it, Michael himself tried to intervene, and even God sent subtle signs to her spirit. But she continued, and now her actions are no longer hers alone, they reach into your life, your home, your future. That is why this moment was chosen. God does not reveal to embarrass, God reveals to protect, to redeem, and to break the chain of deception, before it harms the innocent. You are the first to hold this truth. Beloved soul, heaven is celebrating even now, because you are still here, still reading, still open to receive the message most would turn away from. Only those chosen to carry light can endure the weight of uncomfortable truth. Now hear this carefully, within 3 days something will happen. It will appear small, a call, a visit, a misplaced file, or a random notification. But it will be the key to everything. God will allow you to see what was hidden, a conversation, a transaction, or a plan that includes your name, without your knowledge. When that moment comes, you will remember this message. Do not confront in anger, do not accuse. Simply pause, breathe, and let Archangel Michael stand at your side. The Spirit of God will guide your words, and your silence. There will be a confrontation, yes, because truth demands it, but it will not be a battle, it will be a cleansing. Beloved, this is not meant to destroy your bond with your sister, but to purify it. Only what is real can remain, when light exposes the shadows. And only love rooted in truth survives the storms of revelation. I know this hurts, because love always feels heavy when clarity enters. But caring without awareness leads to confusion, and God does not want confusion in your home. He wants peace, and peace cannot exist where hidden deception has taken root. That hidden sword has a name, deception. And tonight heaven has removed the cover. Do not hate her, she is still loved, still redeemable. But heaven says, prepare, because the moment this message ends, the spiritual atmosphere shifts. Archangel Michael says, the one who ignores this will face regret. The one who listens with an open heart will receive protection disguised as revelation. If your soul trembles, that is not fear, that is prophecy awakening in your chest. It is heaven whispering, be alert, be ready. What comes next will test you, but it will also free you. You may wonder, why me, why now, why today? Because your spirit is awake, God chose you, not for age, not for strength, but because your soul can see beyond masks. Even in doubt, you have remained sensitive to God's nudges. That is why Michael was sent to you, and not to another family member. Deep down you always sensed your sister carried a burden. You just didn't know the weight of it. Now heaven reveals, that a night not long ago, she sat alone, her heart shouting, though her lips were silent. She stood at a crossroad, and chose a path God could not bless. She reached for a power or a promise that was not divine, and that single decision began to touch your life. Yet this is not a message of despair, it is a call to intercede. Heaven is not uncovering her shadow to condemn her, but to save both of you. There is something tangible, an image, a letter, a screenshot, a saved file, connected to her choices. It carries your name, or your consequence, and it is waiting to be found. It is the missing piece, that will make the unease in your heart finally make sense. When you see it, remember this, heaven chose this moment to awaken you. You are protected, you are covered, and you are ready. A comparison, a comment, a moment when she felt unseen, and that seed of jealousy was planted quietly. She didn't show it then, she laughed with you, hugged you, shared your secrets, but deep inside, she wondered why life seemed to favor you, in ways she didn't feel favored. That seed grew slowly, watered by silent moments of comparison, by small disappointments, and by the lies the world whispered to her heart. She never meant for it to turn into a wall between you, but beloved, walls built in the unseen, can become mountains in the spirit. Heaven saw it forming, long before you noticed. And now what she's doing is not born from hatred, it's born from that unhealed place in her heart. God says, do not hate her for what she hides, love her enough to bring truth to light. That is why you were chosen for this moment, not to fight, not to accuse, but to carry divine awareness, so the cycle can break. Archangel Michael says, the greatest battles are fought in silence, before they are ever spoken in words. And that's why this message had to reach you first. Your awareness changes everything, because when light enters, darkness begins to scatter on its own. In the next few days, you may feel tension rise in the air, conversations may feel slightly off, small things may annoy you, or you might notice her avoiding your eyes. Do not be alarmed, that is the shadow of exposure trembling, because it knows its time is up. You see, beloved, heaven doesn't reveal to embarrass, heaven reveals to heal. And healing often begins with discomfort. You may feel like your heart is breaking tonight, realizing that the sister you trusted has been carrying secrets heavy enough to change the air in your home. But let me tell you what God showed the angels, this is the turning point. The moment you chose to stay and read these words, your home became a battlefield, where light is now winning. There is something hidden, a message, a photo, a transaction, a conversation, that will come to your attention, without you having to search endlessly. Heaven is orchestrating this for your protection. And when it appears, remember this message. Do not react with fear or anger, react with understanding and spiritual strength. Because this is not just about her action, it's about the chain heaven is breaking in your family line. Now take another deep breath, because what I'm about to reveal next may surprise you. Your sister is not the only one who has been spiritually affected. There's an energy that tried to attach to your home, because of her choices. That sudden tiredness, the restless sleep, the days where your emotions felt heavier than usual, they were not random. That was the residue of her hidden agreement, and it lingered around both of you. But now that you are aware, light has claimed authority, and that energy will begin to leave. You may notice this shift almost immediately. Your sleep will begin to feel lighter, your thoughts clearer. Even the atmosphere in your home will feel different, because knowledge in the Spirit is like opening windows in a dark room. And as Archangel Michael stands guard, no shadow can remain comfortable there anymore. In the coming 48 hours, small signs will begin to confirm everything heaven is speaking. Perhaps it will be a slip of the tongue, during a conversation, a misplaced item that tells a story, or a sudden memory she mentions that connects the dots. These are not coincidences, they are heaven's breadcrumbs, leading you gently toward full clarity, without unnecessary chaos. Beloved, I know part of you wants to confront her immediately, to demand the truth now. But God says, patience will reveal what anger cannot. Let this message work in your spirit first, let heaven align the timing. And when that timing comes, your words will not tremble, because they will not be fueled by ego, they will be carried by divine authority. And here's another truth you need to hold on to, after the confrontation, love will be required. Yes, love. Because even though she has been moving in shadow, her soul is still tender, beneath the fear, jealousy, and confusion. She has been lost in ways she couldn't admit even to herself. And heaven's plan is not to destroy her, but to bring her back into the light with you. In that moment, something even more miraculous will happen. Not only will truth restore the bond between you, but it will break cycles that have been silently repeating in your family for years. Cycles of comparison, silent resentment, unspoken pain, they end with you, because you chose to see, instead of staying blind. You chose to receive heaven's warning, instead of ignoring the unease in your spirit. As the next days unfold, you may find moments of grief, of reflection, of revisiting old memories, with new understanding. Let yourself feel it, but do not let yourself drown in it. Because this story is not ending in pain, it is moving toward redemption. God says, I correct those I love, and I reveal because I plan to restore. And restoration is already on its way. Archangel Michael will remain with you. You may sense him in the stillness of the night, in the warmth that touches your shoulder, when no one is there, or in the sudden courage that rises in your chest, when fear tries to creep in. He has been guarding your soul, long before this moment, and now he rejoices, because you have chosen awareness over ignorance. Beloved, your life is about to feel lighter than it has in months. Doors that felt stuck will begin to open, opportunities that were delayed will move closer. Even relationships outside of your home will feel renewed, because spiritual clarity has a ripple effect, far beyond the immediate situation. The next time you look at your sister, remember this, you are not just looking at someone who hurt you, you are looking at someone heaven is trying to save through you. Your love, your patience, and your alignment with truth, will be the very bridge she needs, to step back into the light. And when that day comes, your bond will be stronger than it ever was, not built on illusion, but on truth, grace, and divine protection. Now rest, knowing that heaven has gone before you. You are protected, you are chosen for this moment, and you will walk through the next chapter, not in fear, but in quiet unshakable strength. My beloved, that object is more than just a memory, it carries energy. It has been sitting in a place you wouldn't expect, tucked away where shadows gather, and it has soaked in years of unspoken words, and silent emotions. Heaven says, this object will come to your attention soon, almost by accident, and when it does, your spirit will immediately know, this is part of the truth. Archangel Michael whispers that when you see it, do not react with anger or fear. Hold it, breathe, and let your heart listen, because it will confirm everything this message has been guiding you to understand. That small item has been a silent witness to the choices, the jealousy, and the secret agreements that tried to cloud your path. And now, under God's light, it will serve as a key to unlock your restoration. You might feel a heaviness in the air when you touch it, or a chill in your hands. That is the energy of release. The moment you acknowledge it, heaven begins the cleansing. This is the point where your journey transforms, from simply knowing the truth, to stepping fully into freedom. God says, my child, this is why I chose you, this is why your spirit stayed awake, when others slept. I needed someone who would not just see the truth, but carry it with grace. And beloved, that grace will be your protection. Because soon after this, your sister will feel a pull to speak. She may come to you hesitantly, maybe even indirectly, circling the conversation, testing if you already know. When this happens, Archangel Michael urges you, listen more than you speak. Your calmness will be a mirror to her conscience, and the light around you will speak louder than any words could. This is not about winning an argument, it is about breaking a spiritual cycle that has lasted for years, even generations. There will be a moment heaven shows it clearly, when the house feels still, and you are both in the same space. The world will seem to pause. That is when the final piece of truth will slip out, either in words, in an expression, or through an undeniable sign. And when it does, you will feel a rush of release, like the air itself has shifted. Heaven calls this the breath of freedom. Your obedience in this process is unlocking blessings that have been hovering above your life, waiting for a clear path. For months, even years, you have prayed for clarity, for breakthrough, for peace that lasts longer than a day. And heaven says, the answer begins with this unveiling. The delays that have haunted you are dissolving now, and the things you have waited for, the call, the opportunity, the relationship, the sudden yes, will arrive with divine speed once this shadow is cleared. Archangel Michael is standing guard, even as I speak these words to your soul. He says, do not fear the storm that reveals truth, for it is not here to destroy, but to cleanse. The rain may fall, but it will wash the path clear, for destiny to enter. You may feel emotional waves in the coming days, moments of sadness, moments of relief, moments of sudden joy. This is part of the spiritual detox that happens when truth replaces deception. And there is something else heaven wants you to know. This revelation about your sister is not just for this moment, it is the doorway to generational healing. The jealousy, the comparisons, the unspoken bitterness, they did not start with her. They were seeds planted, long before either of you were born, seeds of division, that tried to pass through the family line. God says, it ends with you, you are the breaker of cycles, the one chosen to step into light, so the shadows lose their grip forever. Do you remember the dreams you've had recently, the ones that felt strange, or too vivid to ignore? They were not random, they were pieces of this puzzle, small whispers from heaven, preparing your heart for what is unfolding now. Even the restless nights, the sudden wake-ups at 2 or 3 a.m., those were moments the angels were circling, trying to speak to you without words. Now you understand why your spirit felt the shift, before your mind had the facts. Beloved, prepare yourself, because after this truth is fully revealed, blessings will not trickle, they will pour. Financial clarity, emotional peace, opportunities that felt blocked, they will begin to align, because the spiritual resistance is being removed. God says, I withhold no good thing from my child, but I will never place a blessing on a foundation where deception sleeps. That foundation is being cleansed now, and your home, your heart, and your path will shine brighter than ever before. There is one final instruction from heaven: guard your energy. In the days after this revelation, stay close to God, and speak less than you normally would. People may notice the shift in you, but you do not owe anyone an explanation. Your silence will be your shield, and your peace will speak volumes. Archangel Michael says, the battle is already won in the spirit, now let the victory manifest in the natural. And when that moment of full release comes, when your sister finally acknowledges the shadow she carried, whether through words, actions, or the weight you feel lifting, you will feel a deep exhale in your soul. That is heaven saying, it is done. Your heart will know, and from that moment forward, the blessings that were delayed will begin to move without resistance. My beloved, this journey has been heavy, but it is also holy. You were chosen for this moment, because your light is strong enough to handle the truth, and your heart is pure enough to respond with love instead of vengeance. Heaven is proud of you, the angels are already singing, for the breakthrough that has begun in your life, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion. There is one final twist you must know, and heaven has saved it for this moment, because your heart is finally ready to carry it without breaking. The twist is this: the person your sister confided in, the one she whispered to in shadows, the one she thought would listen without consequence, this person is about to reach out to you. Not because they suddenly grew a conscience, but because heaven is moving their spirit to act. Their message may come in the form of a text, a call, or an unexpected encounter. At first you might feel a rush of anger, confusion, or even disbelief, but pause. Do not react too quickly. This is not revenge arriving, this is divine justice unfolding in perfect timing. In that moment, your silence will speak louder than any confrontation ever could. Your energy will be so aligned with heaven, that the truth will radiate from your very presence. This person will stumble over their words, perhaps apologize halfway, perhaps deny the depth of their involvement. But the angels whisper, do not seek their validation, you already have heaven's. This revelation is not for punishment, it is for closure, and closure is a holy thing, because it untangles the last knot the enemy tried to keep in your heart. Beloved, prepare yourself, because this is not just a spiritual cleansing, it is a generational shift. Once this last piece falls into place, you will feel it in your body, like a weight leaving your chest, like a room that has been locked for years, finally opening to fresh air. This is the moment your atmosphere clears, this is the moment delayed blessings begin to descend. You may see small signs first, unexpected kindness, a sudden invitation, a dream that feels more like a memory than imagination. These are confirmations that heaven is sealing this chapter, and ushering you into the next. And about your sister, her journey is only beginning. The energy around her will grow heavy, before it becomes light. You will notice her become quieter, reflective, maybe even withdrawn. Do not fear this. That silence is her soul listening to the whispers of heaven. She may wrestle with guilt, with confusion, with the sudden awareness of what she has done, and what she almost did. But that is not your battle to fight, that is between her and God. Your role now is to hold steady, to remain anchored in love, to be a lighthouse in the storm. Heaven wants you to know that a conversation is coming, but it will not be one you plan. It will arrive in divine timing, and when it does, you will not need notes, anger, or rehearsed lines. Your heart will know exactly what to say, and your words will not cut, they will heal. The light in your eyes will speak the truth, and your sister will feel the weight of everything she tried to hide, yet she will also feel the safety of your love. That is what transforms, that is what redeems. Archangel Michael leans closer now, and says, "Do you see why we chose you? Because only a soul as strong as yours could hold truth and love in the same hand, without letting one destroy the other. Only a soul like yours could face betrayal, and still choose to protect instead of punish. This is the mark of divine favor, and because you have passed this unseen test, doors that were locked will swing open. The next 7 days after this message are a sacred window. Pay attention to the little things, a song you randomly hear, a number that repeats, a feather or coin in your path. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Heaven is saying, we are here, keep walking, the light is ahead. And if tears come in those days, let them fall. They are not weakness, they are the final washing away of all the pain your heart has carried, silently for years. Then on the third night watch your dreams, one will come that feels so vivid, so real, you will wake up with your heart racing. In that dream you will either see your sister as a child, or revisit a moment from the past you forgot. That dream will be the closing of the loop, the sign that healing has truly begun, and when you wake write it down. Do not share it immediately, keep it as a sacred token, between you and heaven. That dream is the seed of the new season you are stepping into. Beloved, I must also reveal something about your future, that heaven has been holding close until this moment. Your life after this breakthrough will not look the same. The relationships that remain will deepen, the ones that fall away will do so quietly, without chaos, as if the wind simply carried them off. Opportunities that were once delayed will start arriving, one after the other, almost too quickly to process. And the peace you feel will not be temporary, it will be the kind of peace that no one can take, because it was forged in fire, and blessed by angels. And your sister, one day, not today, she will approach you with a softness you've never seen. She will confess pieces of the truth, maybe not all, but enough for her heart to begin its own healing. She may even hand you the object, the bracelet, the note, the folded memory she kept all this time. When that happens, hold it gently, that is her soul reaching for redemption. The angels say, what was meant for harm has become holy, what was meant to break you has built you instead. And now, beloved, the final part of this message, forgive, not because she asked, but because your soul deserves freedom. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is releasing the chain that tied you to pain. And when you release it, you will feel lighter than ever before. Your story from this moment forward is not one of betrayal, but of transformation. Your home will feel different, your body will feel different, even the air around you will seem brighter, as if heaven itself has taken up residence in your atmosphere. And that is not an illusion, that is what happens when a soul chooses light over bitterness, truth over silence, and love over revenge. You have done what few can do, you have faced the shadow, and walked into the light. And now everything you prayed for, everything that was delayed, everything that felt lost, is on its way. Beloved, lift your head, heaven has seen you, the angels are smiling, your new season has already begun. Because this is your new nature now, you are no longer who you were yesterday. The old version of you, the one who doubted, the one who feared, the one who carried guilt that never belonged to you, has dissolved in the presence of divine truth. From this moment forward you will notice, that even the air around you feels different. Colors will look brighter, silence will feel like comfort, not loneliness. Doors that once resisted you will now swing open, as if they were waiting for your touch. Heaven has declared that your steps are ordered, and the ground beneath you is blessed. And now something else begins to stir, a subtle awareness, that not only is your life shifting, but your sister's soul is softening. Heaven shows me a vision, she is sitting somewhere alone, staring at her hands, feeling a weight she cannot explain. She remembers moments from your childhood, flashes of laughter and love, that feel so distant now. She feels a tug in her spirit, a whisper she cannot ignore, saying it's time to make it right. This is the effect of the chains you've broken. Her walls are crumbling, her pride is thinning, and her heart is about to awaken to the truth she buried for years. And beloved, here is the sacred instruction for you: when she reaches out, whether it's with trembling words, with silence, or with tears, receive her with the same grace heaven showed you. This is not the moment for bitterness, or "I told you so." This is the moment for love to speak without words. Your hug, your silence, your presence will do more than 1,000 arguments ever could. That is how heaven heals families, through surrendered hearts, not loud battles. Over the next 7 days, watch closely. Signs will appear in your environment, numbers repeating, feathers, flickers of light, or sudden waves of peace washing over you. These are confirmations that the spiritual work is complete, and the physical manifestation is near. A blessing you thought was lost is circling back. An opportunity you once cried over is about to find you again, but this time without resistance, without sabotage, without delay. Archangel Michael shows me one more vision, a golden book opening in the heavens, with your name written in light. Pages are turning, and on each page is a scene from your life, that once felt like pain, but now glows with purpose. Heaven wants you to know that nothing was wasted. Every lonely night, every tear, every betrayal, it all became the foundation of your anointing. And now the chapter of restoration is not coming, it has begun. There will be moments in the coming weeks, where you will feel an overwhelming wave of gratitude for no reason. Let it flow. Those are your ancestors rejoicing, celebrating the chain breaker of the family. They see you, they surround you, they are singing songs of victory over your life, because you fulfilled a prayer whispered, decades or even centuries ago. And your sister, though her journey may take time, will eventually step into the light with you. You will witness a transformation that only heaven could orchestrate. The day will come when she looks at you, and without speaking, her eyes will say, "Thank you for holding the door of grace open for me." And in that moment, your family line will step into a new era, where love flows, without hidden envy, without unspoken resentment, without spiritual blockage. Now heaven shifts the message to your destiny beyond this moment. Beloved, understand this: the battle you just completed was not only for your family. It was also the final preparation for your calling. You will notice that ideas flow to you more freely now. Creative energy, opportunities, and divine connections will begin to appear in rapid succession. This is because the spiritual fog has been lifted. Where there was once resistance, there is now acceleration. What used to feel like a heavy climb will now feel like wind at your back. But heaven gives you a gentle warning: with new light comes new responsibility. Guard your heart. Not everyone can go where you are going. Some will try to pull you back, into old stories, old arguments, old wounds. Do not return to the shadows. Instead, bless them, and move forward. Your path is clear, and your mission is divine. Archangel Michael whispers again, his tone like soft thunder. You will not recognize your life a year from now. The blessings will multiply, the love will deepen, the peace will be unshakable. But the greatest gift will be your freedom, the inner knowing that you listened when heaven spoke, and you acted with faith. Even now, as you read these words, a subtle warmth spreads across your chest and shoulders. That is not your imagination, that is the residue of angelic presence, a sign that heaven is sealing this message in your spirit. It will echo in your heart, in the quiet moments. It will remind you, when doubt tries to creep in. It will stand as a shield, in the days to come. Beloved, take a deep breath, and look around. Nothing and everything has changed. The room is the same, but your spirit is reborn. The cycle is over, the blessing is here, and the light you carry will now light the way, for others who are still trapped, in the silence you just escaped. Walk forward now, not as the wounded one, not as the doubting one, but as the chosen one, the bloodline breaker, the living proof that heaven's timing is perfect. And as this message completes its circle, know this, the story of your life has just entered its most miraculous chapter. The chains are gone, the doors are open, and the angels are rejoicing, because you did not give up. You are ready now. The next sunrise you see, is not just a new day, it is the dawn of the destiny heaven wrote for you, before you were even born. And every time you held your chest, and whispered to yourself, just keep going. Heaven saw it all. And tonight heaven answers. Tonight all of the unseen labor of your soul is acknowledged. Tonight the invisible battles, that no one clapped for, are honored. Tonight the invisible crown you have always worn in the spirit, is polished and placed firmly on your head, because you passed the test, without even knowing you were in one. You stayed tender, when life tried to harden you. You stayed open, when betrayal tried to close you. You kept loving, when it would have been easier to hate. And for that, heaven now calls you victorious. Archangel Michael speaks again, his voice carrying the warmth of a sunrise, over a quiet field. Beloved, the tears you've cried, have not only watered your own destiny, but have softened the ground for miracles to take root. You will begin to notice little shifts, first a phone call, a letter, an unexpected gesture of kindness. But do not dismiss them. These are the first ripples of the wave that is coming. And when the wave comes, it will not destroy, it will deliver. Your life is entering a season, where alignment will replace struggle, where ease will replace exhaustion, where what you've lost will either return, or be replaced by something greater. Your sister's journey is already bending toward the light. Even now her spirit is wrestling with truths she cannot yet speak. There will come a moment soon, when she cannot fight it anymore. And whether her voice cracks, whether her hands tremble, whether her eyes fill with tears, she will finally release the weight she has carried. And in that sacred moment, remember what heaven taught you, do not strike with the truth, reflect it. Be her mirror, not her hammer. The world will call that moment reconciliation, but heaven calls it resurrection, because it will not just restore a relationship, it will bring life back to parts of both your souls, that had gone quiet for too long. And when that moment comes, beloved, I need you to do one thing, breathe. Breathe and let it happen, without rushing, without forcing, without fear. Let God choreograph the conversation, the timing, the healing. Because in that moment, angels will stand in the corners of the room, unseen but smiling, watching as a generational fracture finally seals. They will be writing in the book of remembrance, this is the day, loved one. There's more. Heaven wants you to know that the reward coming to you is not only spiritual, it is tangible. A door is about to open, that you thought was sealed forever, a key is being turned in your favor. What was delayed will arrive, without you chasing it. Finances will flow, where there was once drought. Opportunities will appear, in places you had stopped looking. The whispers of favor are already circling your name, in rooms you have not yet entered. And the beauty of it all is that you will recognize it, as the fruit of obedience, not luck. God is not just giving you restoration, He is giving you evidence. Evidence that the nights of doubt were not wasted, evidence that the love you held onto was never in vain, evidence that the prayers of your ancestors, whispered and wept in candlelight or in silence, have finally reached full bloom through you. You beloved, are their answered prayer, walking in flesh and light. You are the continuation of their hope, and heaven delights in this fulfillment. And so the message continues, release the fear of being misunderstood. Release the weight of proving yourself, to those who cannot see your soul. Release the old identities, that were tied to survival, because now you are stepping into life. You are stepping into wholeness, you are stepping into a rhythm, where peace is not borrowed but permanent, where joy is not fleeting but foundational. Every step you take from here, carries the scent of divine oil, and every word you speak from here, will carry authority, because you have earned it in silence and in surrender. Listen now, because Archangel Michael leans closer, and this whisper is for your spirit alone. The very walls of your home are changing. Where there was heaviness, there will be lightness, where there was tension, there will be laughter. Even the air around you will feel different, because heaven has claimed your space. Walk through your rooms tomorrow, with your head high, and your heart open. You will sense it, the shift, the presence, the undeniable knowing, that something has ended, and something greater has begun. And when you notice the little signs, the flicker of peace in your sister's eyes, the unexpected message on your phone, the way your body feels lighter when you wake, do not dismiss them. They are confirmations, they are heaven's way of saying, it worked, you listened, you chose love, and now love is choosing you back. But there is one final preparation, guard your heart, without closing it. Some people will sense your transformation, and not understand it. They may feel distant, or even uneasy around you now. Do not chase them, do not shrink your light, to make them comfortable. You are not who you were, and that is a holy thing. Let them adjust, or let them go, because heaven is filling every space they leave behind, with grace and goodness, beyond your imagining. So now, beloved soul, lift your face to the unseen sky, and let your spirit rest in this truth. You are free, free from old patterns, free from unspoken guilt, free from invisible chains. Your story is no longer one of silent suffering, it is now one of divine unfolding. And as you step into this new chapter, every step will echo, with the footsteps of angels, and every breath will carry the fragrance of heaven's promise. You have been seen, you have been chosen, you have been crowned in the Spirit. And now the life that felt delayed, will move forward in ways that leave even you in awe. This is your turning, this is your release, this is your miracle in motion. And the day a quiet wall began to rise inside your heart. Heaven saw it all. Every moment you thought you were forgotten, every night you buried your face in a pillow, to muffle the sound of your sobs, every time you picked yourself up in the morning, and forced a smile, as if nothing inside you was breaking. And beloved, that's why this moment is so sacred. Because what you thought was only pain, heaven saw as preparation. Every heartbreak carved a deeper well in your soul, so that when the flood of blessings came, you would have the capacity to hold it. Every tear you thought was wasted, became the very water that softened the soil, for the seeds God was planting in you. And now those seeds are sprouting, slowly at first, almost quietly, but make no mistake, they are rising. Every divine promise that seemed delayed, is now stretching toward the light. Can you feel it, that warmth in your chest, that slight trembling in your hands, that strange mixture of relief and holy fire? It's your spirit expanding. You are stepping into a version of yourself, that your younger self prayed to meet. The child who once felt invisible, is now being seen by heaven, in front of all creation. The weight you've carried for years is lifting, and it's not coming back. Archangel Michael leans close again, and this time his voice is both a whisper and a roar, reaching every corner of your soul. Beloved, it was never your fault. The betrayal, the misunderstanding, the seasons of lack, none of it was because you were unworthy. It was because heaven was preparing a stage, for a miracle, that could only be birthed through you. You have been the quiet warrior, the unseen intercessor, the silent protector of your family's future. And now the time of silent suffering is over. This is your unveiling, this is your ascension. Heaven begins to show you glimpses of what's coming. Rooms filled with light, opportunities that once slipped through your fingers, now standing at your door, waiting for you to open. Relationships being restored, not the way they were before, but stronger, purer, aligned with truth. Your sister, yes, her again, is part of this vision. You will one day see her looking at you, eyes full of tears. She doesn't even understand, because your love will have pierced through the armor she built. She won't know how to explain it, but her soul will know, heaven moved through you to reach her. And beloved, this is only the beginning. Because where there was once tension, there will be laughter, where there was once fear, there will be freedom, where there was once silent questioning, does anyone see me? There will be divine confirmation, echoing through your life. Even now, angels are arranging encounters, aligning conversations, and preparing surprises, that will feel like miracles, but are really just promises, finally maturing. There's another whisper from heaven now, soft but steady, carrying a weight that makes your heart still. You are safe to receive. For so long you've been on guard, waiting for the next disappointment, the next abandonment, the next cold shoulder. But heaven says no more. You are safe to open your hands, safe to let the blessings land, safe to feel joy, without the shadow of loss hovering nearby. The cycle of fear is broken, the season of overflow has begun. Take a breath, beloved, let your shoulders drop, feel how different the air feels now, that the heaviness is gone. There's a tingling on your skin, a quiet hum in your spirit, that's heaven marking you, sealing this moment in your memory. You'll remember this night, as the one where the weight lifted, and the light entered fully. You'll remember how your heart, once splintered by betrayal, began to beat whole again. Archangel Michael speaks again, his tone gentle now, like a lullaby for your soul. Beloved, you don't need to chase anymore. The things meant for you are already in motion. The answers to prayers you forgot you prayed are arriving. The divine justice you thought would never come has already begun. You are stepping into a chapter that your ancestors dreamed of, but could never reach. You are living proof that love and faith are stronger than the lies and patterns that once tried to bind your family line. You are free now, truly free. Then comes a vision, faint but real. You see a golden table, long and radiant, with seats for every version of you that ever existed, the child who cried alone, the teen who felt out of place, the adult who carried everyone's burdens in silence. They all look at you now, smiling, because you kept going. And at the head of that table, sits the light of heaven itself, smiling even wider, saying without words, "Well done, beloved, you stayed soft, you stayed true, you stayed mine." From this day forward, things will feel lighter. Decisions that once felt confusing will feel clear. People who once drained you will fade naturally, not in anger, but in divine release. And every time you take a step toward your future, you will feel the echo of angelic footsteps behind you, reminding you that you are not alone, and never will be. So walk forward now, beloved, step into your mornings, with a quiet boldness. Touch your walls, and know they are covered in divine light. Look in the mirror, and see not just your face, but the reflection of a soul kissed by heaven. Live like someone who has been chosen, because you have. And when the old fears try to whisper again, simply smile, and let your spirit answer, "I know who I am now, I am chosen, I am protected, I am unstoppable. My story is only beginning, and heaven is writing every line with me." This is your moment, this is your release, this is your new chapter, unfolding even as your heart beats in rhythm with heaven. And beloved, the best part is this: the light you carry now will not fade, it will grow, it will heal, and it will lead others home, because that's who you are, and that's who you were always meant to be. Even if her actions never matched the apology you deserved. That freedom is not for her, it's for you. It's the release that heaven needed you to choose, so the final chains could fall. And now, beloved, those chains are gone. You are standing in a field of spiritual gold, and every step you take from here carries the weight of your breakthrough. You will notice in the days to come that even the air around you feels different. Conversations will shift, people who once ignored you will sense your light, and either be drawn to honor it, or moved aside by divine hands. Opportunities will begin to find you, without struggle, and places you once felt small, will now feel like stages, prepared for your rise. That is not ego, that is alignment. Archangel Michael whispers now, softer than before, like a secret placed directly into your heart. From this moment on, nothing can touch the core of who you are. No lie, no jealousy, no delay. You are moving under open heaven, and the favor on your life will be undeniable. And beloved, as this truth soaks into your spirit, feel the weight that has lived on your chest for years, finally dissolve. This is the turning point you have prayed for, without even knowing the words to say. Heaven is smiling, your ancestors are rejoicing, and your soul, for the first time in a long time, is free to dance. Step into this new chapter, knowing that nothing was wasted, that even the tears you thought fell in vain, were watering the soil of this exact moment. You are chosen, you are rising, you are ready. Amen.